Hello again, soul brothers and sisters, wherever you are, and welcome to the series Spiritual Awakening, where I will be sharing some of my experience and my understanding of various concepts that took me many, many years to research, integrate, and understand. And where in the future I'll be hosting other people to share their own experiences, and if you'd like to be part of that, we need to unite our experiences together, our voices together to help each other go back home to our journey home. So, this video is directly related to the previous one, so I'm gonna continue. In the previous one, I discussed ascension, star seeds, and light workers, the army of Christ, and the second coming of Christ, the apocalypse. Now, and about energy, how we need to release everything. This is in short. So, if I am to say in short, we came here to learn to master our energies, to learn to master our energies. And even the greatest of ascended masters, those phenomenal people that came to earth, like Tesla, like some of the saints, and they they struggled also with the frequency of the earth that is very dense and very hostile and difficult. And since we are energy and everything is energy, it's sometimes difficult to escape from this magnetic field that you are in and you become part of. So we became to master our own energies. And as I mentioned in the previous video, it is time to let go of indoctrination and have an open mind and heart to join collaboratively our knowledge and everything we have learned from different religions. Different religions are waiting for second coming of Christ, and who are the army of Christ. And now about energy, mastering our energy, and if we say Buddhism, we should not put a veto on that, on the chakras. No, this is against my religion. No, no, no. Open your heart. Open your third eye chakra. Yes, open your heart. Pray, ask for it, because you'll be shown the way. If we are energy and we are here to heal any discordant energy, any energy bonds, any pains, any hurts, it's all energy. And if we're gonna talk about energy, this means we need to learn about the chakras. Yes, we all star seeds and light workers who are on the spiritual awakening journey and on the ascension journey, they did the work, we did the learning. It took us years and years of studying and practicing to learn to reactivate our energy centers. Yes, the wisdom was here thousands of years ago, and we threw it away. And as I mentioned before, Jesus, who says that Jesus was not, what do we know? A few chapters, was not doing meditation, and he went into India. And I'm gonna relate a story. We have a saint in Lebanon. Now I'm Christian. In Lebanon, we have the Maronite. If you don't know that, they are like Catholic, but they are called Maronite because there was a saint that took them, and there were wars, and they were there in an area. And he actually was teaching his disciples to meditate, to be in stillness, about energy, about all these things. And we have a powerful saint, Saint Charbel, who managed, even as being alive, he's extremely powerful. He's extremely powerful. He performs what people call miracles, which is transmutation. He literally heals people, heals them physically from physical things. He used to be spotted as light, like a sphere of light moving from a place to another. In other words, he was able to activate his energy centers and his light body, his Merkaba. He activated his energy centers. He connected. He most certainly reached unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, which leads me back to the second coming of Christ. So the first thing is that since everything is energy and we are here to master our energy, then it is a must to not reject any stories about chakra, Merkaba. This is not bullshit, guys. This is real. There are scientific evidence about this, the toric field around us, the aura, and all this. Yes, now things can be recorded and they can be seen. And so this is one thing. Another thing about the apocalypse and the second coming of Christ and the army of Christ. Guys, read the Bible carefully. Jesus is talking to us. He tells his disciples when they ask him about the second coming. He tells them, if they tell you I am here or there, do not listen to them. Do not go try to find me here or there, because he will not be here or there or in that place or in that place. He will not. Just as the kingdom of heaven is not here or there. Christ is very simply within us. His second coming is within. He has been part of us since the very beginning of our conception. He is the Son. We are the Son. The sonship, the source, our Father, and then us, the sonship as a code, if you want it, is in our heart, waiting to awaken and to expand and to remember. And he will be guiding each and every one of us because he is in our hearts. Not the heart that goes boom, 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 the heart chakra. He's in us. He's part of us. He will be guiding us back home. What is back home? It's not a place we move to. It's a dimension. It's a frequency that we will rise up to. Now, there are lots of stories about we're moving to another place and we will not have a body and our DNAs are changing and activating. I'm not gonna go there. There are lots of conflicting stories about that yet. But we are waiting for more and more light to know. We will be shown the way. We will be shown the way as long as we admit that Christ consciousness, that is this awareness, is the second coming of Christ. Imagine thousands, millions of people reaching Christ consciousness. Wouldn't you call that a second coming? Now maybe as when he incarnated, when he came 2000 years ago, maybe, who knows, he might come back again as that person, but he's also part of us, just as the angels are. That's another topic, part of us. They are not out there as an entity. They are in us and we are in them. We are one. We are one. They are all part of who we are and we are part of them. We are like this net, this web that is intricate web that is connected all together. So this is regarding so the army of Christ then would be simply the people who will reach Christ consciousness. And when they reaching Christ consciousness means being directly guided by our beloved brother. And in Course in Miracles, he asks us, he tells us to call him brother. I am your elder brother. I made the way before you to show you the way. And he'll be guiding us every step of the way. So this army of Christ is here, is us, and is awakening little by little. And the dark ones, they are scared of it. They are scared of that day when this will happen. And not only we as humans are awakening and shifting into higher dimension, also Earth has had its traumas, and we have done so many things to Earth. Earth will also be ascending and shifting into a higher frequency. So that is why there might be what we have read in the Apocalypse, some changes like volcanoes, tornadoes, things like that on Earth, earthquakes and so on. But it is believed that we should not be scared. We should not be scared because we are protected, because we are not alone, because we are infinitely loved. Beyond measure, guys, beyond measure. I can't wait for the day for more people to awaken and start being in that place where they know that we are not separate, we are all connected, we are all one. And when they know this, there will be no more competition, no more fights among each other. Will be loving and embracing each other's, and it would be a day of celebration, a day of joy, a day of joy. Now, I'll relate another story with a friend. I told you I had a discussion with a person I was trying to awaken in the previous video, and she criticized the healer thing. And here we started talking about religions, my religion, Christianism, and hers. I was trying to go with her in the talk that in the Quran it is said that there will be the strong solar flare, and that people, she was asking me, this is weird in the Quran, and she's trying to get it. People would be naked, like totally naked. And I told her, this is not physical nakedness. And the sun is not the sun that is now the burning in the sky as in just a thing burning in the sky. The sun is a consciousness, just as I am a consciousness, just as I explained before, everything is a consciousness. The grain of rice, the water, the milk, the bird, the sun, the clothes, and you see how we are responsible of everything. Did we waste so much water? Did that water go to waste? Did that grain of rice go to waste? Did these clothes go to waste? It's all this. When we say that we have sort of created this mess on earth, we created that. Not God. No, not God. So back to the vision we were discussing. So I told her the sun is the light in terms of knowledge. the light will increase on earth, and the dark ones knew it, and they are terrified of the day of the huge massive solar flare. And now there are different theories because we don't know exactly what will happen, but we need to believe in the heart. So apparently the solar flare is already happening in degrees. Maybe there'll be a major one later on, shifting all up. So when we look at this, the solar flare that will happen, it will no longer be that scary event of burning and people naked. What is it? It is the light of consciousness, of illumination. I get illuminated. I see clearer. And why are people naked? Because they will see exactly things as they are. If they hurt someone, they will see it. If they have been unjust and unfair, they will see it. They will see all the karma that they have created. And if they have been, let's say, falsely indoctrinated, not wanting to open their minds and believe new things, they will see it as well. And some will be shocked. Some may even refuse that. So this nakedness is then the awareness, the openness and awareness and understanding of what is happening out there and in there, of who we truly are, and of seeing all the pains we have caused to self. Do you remember this repeating, she did this to me, the unresolved issues? If we haven't done them, if we haven't already started clearing the self, it's gonna be harder. I'm not scaring people, it's not a scary thing, it's just more difficult and more challenging than to go step by step. It's already challenging now for us. We are literally exhausted from all the clearing and purging. So those people who did not apologize to me for hurting me, I release them now, but then they will see it. They will see. And funny thing, how do you know? Let's suppose you don't want to believe about all this talk, the ascension and the apocalyptic stuff. Before I knew any of this, if you were watching the videos from the beginning, how I saw weird signs, and I noticed they were weird. I noticed they were signs from up there, from Providence, and I would I went into a journey of introspection and going back, because I was going through hard times, and I was going back to see where I made mistakes with other people. And believe me, I have done that so many times, so many times. I would go back and see, and some of these people, I have sent them messages to apologize for what I have done. For others, it was not possible. But now I have learned how to do it energetically, connecting with their higher self and things like that. And when you start going back to these past events and remembering certain errors you made, this means that you are awakening. For instance, the guy I told you, the first one I ever loved, my heart chakra still beams out for him, but he went and married my friend. I apologized for him a few years ago for something that happened, since I was doing the clearing myself. He did not respond at that time, but ironically enough, last year he connected and he slightly apologized, like in one sentence. But I understood, I was happy Not just because I received the apology, it was nice to receive it, nice to hear it, because it tormented me. You have no idea how hard it was. Especially that I thought that we could have been really happy together. But then, when I think maybe it was not my soul journey, I was supposed to go through all the very difficult things I had to go through. It was my soul contract, and I had to learn a lot of things, maybe. And part of being a healer, helping others heal, is that we must go through the pains our own selves to understand them. Because if I am coming from a simply theoretical approach, it would be, I won't be able to help you. I won't be able to help the other if I don't fully understand their pains and what it means. Like, there would still be some judgment in it, or some coldness in the interpretation. So it made me happy that he apologized first. That's the thing. And it also made me happy because I said, his journey of awakening has started. Although it might take some years to believe in this bullshit that we are talking about now. Don't worry, I called it bullshit many years ago as well, but then I wish I haven't. I forgive myself, I have to. And that's how I understand that we all have to go through it in that way, with the cognitive dissonance and all. So these are major, great days to be living on earth. They will be harder and harder to help people awaken, because when we are in this matrix, this life, when you have a system of belief and you're focusing on it, and it's about success, family, life, and doing this, it is really, really hard to get out of that and look to see that there is something different, because everyone, since the moment you were born, everyone around you is telling you that this is how things should be. So that is why, to awaken, unfortunately, we need to be shaken really, really hard. We need to go through shitty situations, really, where everything falls down on our heads, so that we consider consider, because if everything is going on well, we're not gonna look outside to see what's wrong. So yeah, so part of the awakening are these very hard trials, but the reward after, when you find that treasure in the field, when you find and when you feel and when you sense all this love, all the support, with all there is, how much loved we are, how much precious and powerful we are, you say it's okay, it was worth it. It was worth it to awaken. And one last thing, since I was talking about healing, I gave the example of being criticized about how could you be a healer, yeah, only God can do this and things like that. I was also criticized, ironically, by another energy healer like me, a sister of mine. I love her very much, but it is okay. We are helping each other. Sometimes by bouncing onto each other, we act like mirrors and we correct our own selves. So I thank her soul, and I know whatever happened made her question herself as well, and we are helping each other awaken. That's the most important thing. So when she first met me, she's too confident about her energy healing things. She has been doing it for a long time, and she works in a center, a known center, and all this. And I'm doing it online, and I have my parallel teaching job, and so she was too confident about it. The too much confidence is too much ego. So when she tried to explain to me, when she saw that I have a lot of physical pains, yes, I do have a lot of physical pains. It is ironic, isn't it? You have, how could you be a healer and be physically ill? How could you not heal yourself? Therefore, you are not a healer, which is totally false. Which is totally false. I am working on healing my emotions. The rest may follow or not. If you are watching the Chosen series, then I love it. If you remember Simon, who had a limp, was limping, and when Jesus sent them 2 by 2 to spread the word, and Simon came to him, he told him, how are you asking us, I mean, to perform miracles, and I am like this, and you're healing everybody, you're not healing me? And what did Jesus say to him? So that God would be praised. So that God would be praised, that even despite all that you are going through, you are still believing, and because things for now are like that, and they will eventually change at some point. Now, this friend healer, later on when she got to know me more, because I tend to be rather humble in my approach when I am one-on-one. Sometimes with people, I test the water. And when we were with a shaman friend of hers, and when she later understood that I received downloads and that I was seeing visions and I was helping her, and now whenever energies change or shift, she contacts me to see whatever visions she's going through. And when we saw her shaman friend saw that, she told me, you're an extremely powerful being up there, but there is still some blockage. And that healer friend, later in time, she understood. So regardless of what form things take, well, if you look at Dalai Lama, he had cancer in the leg. If you look at some of the great light workers out there who are of great, pure souls, wonderful souls, I know a couple of them who had cancer and they suffered a lot. Sometimes maybe it is part of the journey to learn something, because it's like a game, there are levels, and it is in our contract to maybe trust until the last minute, until we learn. There's maybe a degree of tolerance for something. We will be shown the answer later on. So it's all about believing, having the faith, no matter what, trusting the plan, the divine plan that is sublime, that is fantastic, that is fabulous. It is about the ascension journey and shifting into higher consciousness. One last idea: we are moving not just from separation to unity, we are also moving from fear to love, from fear to love. When we can fully trust and there is no fear whatsoever, and we will be tested hard, and that's what I'm scared of because I've had difficult tests. I'm reaching higher levels, and we will be tested, moving from fear to love that no matter what happens, we are taken care of. If you remember in Matthew in the Bible, Jesus tells us, live each day. Do not worry about tomorrow. Look at how God takes care of the birds and the flowers in the fields. Do not worry. He's always telling us to not worry, live the moment today. Trust that you are taken care of. But when we think about trust that we are taken care of, we think that it means my bank account should always be full so that I'd be sure that no, it could mean that I might reach bankruptcy, but then I am trusting the universe that maybe tomorrow I'll receive something, maybe little. Maybe I'll move from a high status into a lower one, which is okay. It's another experience. It's another melody. It's another song, as Anthony de Mello says. It's about being in an absolute state of flow, of acceptance, especially when we understand that we are much more than this in here. I just had the thrills, guys, because I know as I am recording these videos, it's not my ego that wants to do them. I am guided to, and I am not alone. And every time I sit to record them, I go within and I ask for my guides to be with me, to speak through me, so that whatever that comes out would be in service to humanity, as many of us, just as so many other brothers helped me. So the ultimate goal again is to master our frequency, and this reminds me of something my therapist said many years ago, before I knew about ascension or any of all this stuff. He told me, you know that you have reached this balanced psychological level is when he gave me this image, you walk, an image, imagine a city with buildings and people, and you are walking and people throwing things at you and all sorts of stuff, and you do not move. You remain in absolute inner peace and in absolute stillness. I still carried that image with me until today, because look how many years it took for me to link it to give it a spiritual dimension now. So that's spiritual psychology, and that's what Jesus is also trying to teach us in A Course in Miracles. So my friends, if you have anything to share with us, you have a story that resonates, you heard something, it reminded you of something you want to share, please comment below. Please like if you like it, share it with friends, spread the words, guys, spread the words as much as possible, spread the good news. And if you want to know if I have something new to post, please hit the subscribe button so that you'd be notified, and so that I know who's following me, who's listening, and although I don't see the names, but you know. And if you want to read more resources, please remember to look below at the link to my blog page, and I send you all lots and lots of love and light, and see you next time.